Hello again, friends. Welcome back to twitch.tv/TrooperBerry. And welcome to this, our last stream of the year, which means it's time for our annual run-through of our tier lists of the best games we've played. And because this year was so chock-a-block with this, that, and the other game, I decided to break it out into two separate tier lists. One for demos, one for full games. So we're going to start with the one for demos. We got our tiers here. So the whole idea behind a demo, right, is to get you intrigued, get you excited for a game. Put it on your wish list. So my tiers are: I am hyped for the full release. I am intrigued for the full release. I simply am. I have no strong feelings one way or the other. And then there's one. One of these demos is going on the naughty list. We'll get there. Okay, let's start. So, Altered Alma. This is the game that said Neo Barcelona, the Metroidvania. I think we played it a couple times, the initial demo and then the updated demo. Really slick, really cool looking, really violent. Normally not my kind of thing, but just the look of it, I'm very interested to see where this goes. Am I Nima? Kind of that, almost like quasi kind of Lovecraftian kind of deduction kind of game. Again, it mostly just you chatting with your mom and trying not to make her angry, but it was honestly, the vibes were immaculate there. I'm really interested in the full release there. So artificial selection. This was one of our demos from the Choose Wisely Festival. Actually, hang on, give me just a second here. We got Hades 2. We'll get to Hades 2 later. I never heard the demo or I never heard the menu music just kind of vibe like that. Anyway, artificial selection. Yeah, this is the one with the escape rooms. I'm curious where that goes. Astromeda, yeah, that was the very kind of like 16-bit kind of pixely one. It didn't really grab me. It was also at the end of the night, so maybe that wasn't very fair to it. Broomstick Exorcist, that was the beat 'em up. They have the occult beat 'em up from an Indonesian studio. Took me a little bit to get my head around that one, but I'll say I'm intrigued. And then we get Bura. This was the kind of the Ghibli-looking demo, based off of, I think it was Croatian mythology. Really neat. Very, very chill, very relaxing. I think we played this one early in the year, so I'm having to dig through the old memory bank here. Yeah, I'll keep an eye on that one. Call of the Golden Valley. This was the Australian kind of mystery visual novel, fully voice acted, by the way, and it is now in full. I should say, so of these, if I played the demo, but I went on to play the full release, I do not have the game in here. And there are a few that we did do that. So, yeah, I'm gonna Call of the Golden Valley. I liked that one. It is out in full release now. We'll put that there. Okay, Constance. This was the kind of Metroidvania set in like a young woman's psyche, basically, trying to. It's very, very artistically influenced. I like that one a lot. This is also out in full release. I actually have this, but I have not touched it yet. Let's see, Couple Maker. Oh yeah, this is the. I think this is also out. I think it's actually free on Steam. I think it was a little puzzle game where you had to set up little almost kind of circuits where each you had to move the characters around a certain path to end up with a certain other person as a couple. I liked that. Honestly, I can't remember too much about it, but I mean, I'm pretty sure I got the full game, but I haven't given it much thought. Um, Death and Theology. Okay, this one. Well, first off, yeah, as a visual novel is not necessarily my cup of tea, but the world of Death and Theology really got my attention, and I want to see where that one goes. Because apparently there's more romance options than I initially said in the video we did. Also, my YouTube VOD of this playthrough got dinged for two copyright claims, despite the fact all the music in there is copyright free. So I have since disputed, but we'll see. The people who are making those claims are like well-known fraudsters. So we'll see where that goes. Again, like YouTube is summarily unhelpful. Anyway, downhill, easily hyped. This is the one uh, where the kind of dark fantasy setting, and like the character you're controlling knows they're being controlled, and like you have dialogue with them. I'm Again, full disclosure, I did back it on Kickstarter, so I'm not unbiased, but I really like the look of it. Like the conceit, like having like that ongoing relationship with the character you're controlling, seems really cool, and I definitely want to check back on that. I should say, yeah, these are not in any kind of order. They're basically these are in alphabetical order. So now I'm not saying like I'm the most hyped for Altered Alma. Let's see, good news. Oh yeah, so this was the kind of Papers, Please, but set in a newsroom. I do want to see where that one goes. It's very very simple, very straightforward. But again, me being kind of working in that industry, I'm not unbiased, but I want to see where that goes. Apparently, it's not the only game along those lines. I guess there's one that's more fleshed out, but it's like set in a more explicitly revolutionary setting. I'll have to watch for that. Hey, hey, Brady B, welcome. How's your weekend going? Hope you are nice and chill. This this is the demo only. I got a whole separate tier list for the actual games. We'll get there. Don't you worry. But how you doing, Brady B? Your holiday treating you well? Okay. Heart of Altai. Yeah, this was kind of like a walking simulator in that part like was it like southern Russia or like right up against the Stans? Um, there wasn't a whole heck of a lot to that. It was neat. It was a nice to walk around in, but I don't know. There was a lot there. Hirogami. Okay, this one. This one came. It was like, was it Bondi? But it was like Bondi's like a Singapore and Malaysia studios. Like the trailer looked really cool, and I was interested. But then I actually played the demo, and I like the art style. Like it was unique. It was nice to look at, but the gameplay just didn't quite grab me. And the fact like when I got this image for this tier list, the game like the full release of the game had like 24 reviews on Steam. That's not a good, and they weren't all glowing reviews either. So unfortunately, we're just gonna have to let that by the by. You slept a bunch, didn't feel you got it up. Oh, that stinks. Well, you got I don't know, maybe Lunar New Year will be another option for you. Let's see. I'm making a monster. That was one of the one of the Zorky games, the demos we did. Um, like the whole demo took like 10, 12 minutes. I don't dislike it. Like the art was really like the kind of like the watercolor kind of uh, art style. I like the look of it. I didn't get a lot of a good sense of what the game was going to be about. I don't dislike it, but it was kind of just for now. Imperial Grace. Brady B will remember this one. This was the kind of a medieval fantasy otome slash resource management game with the surprisingly detailed character customization. You know what? I want to see where this goes. I I say that I like the art. I appreciate like the blending the visual novel with the resource management, which you don't really see a lot of. So I think that was pretty neat. And I also appreciate, despite it being an otome game, they do give you a female love interest and a good one too. Hello, Goofy. Welcome in. Hope you are chilling. Oh yeah, how did your big cooking sesh go? I think you were talking about that. Let's see. Ink Reverie. Okay, yeah, this was kind of like the Chinese city builder. I think it was like kind of a Tang Dynasty kind of setting. Um, I found this one kind of hard to get into. It wasn't bad. I don't. Maybe I just didn't get a good translation, or I'm not sure. But yeah, it just didn't hit for me. You are not chilling. You're starting some work. Oh, okay. Irene. Yeah, this kicked off our uh, Choose Wisely festival. I I like the look of this one. I think it's you're video chatting with an old friend from college, and there's definitely some hints that could be potential emotional involvement there. Definitely some tragic circumstances being hinted at behind the behind the curtain. Okay, easier than you thought. You didn't like the beef thing. You got that much, but okay, that's good. Yeah, I'm glad it went okay because that was a lot of effort to a lot of effort to put into just things being passable. Let's see. Okay, so we got a couple cities slash deck builders, Islanders New Shores and Islantiles. I will say I like them both. Islanders is more of a straight up city builder, whereas Islantiles it has the more of the deck builder and almost like a rogue like elements where you level up as you go. But both very promising, both very chill. Let's see the Kindling. Yeah, this is kind of the puzzle game that was. How do I describe it? It's like you're like guiding like a lost soul in the afterlife, but the demo didn't really give a whole lot of indication about what kind of story was there. This has come out in full release. I do have it. I have not played it. I say I like the little puzzly elements and like the having to set this, that, and the other thing on fire and then keep them on fire. Kitten Burst. Okay, yeah, this is another one from a while back. This was kind of that aerial racing game, kind of like I said in the early, like late '90s, early 2000s kind of cybernet thing, kind of. It, it's like partly early 2000s internet humor, partly part racing game. I don't know. I mean, I would say the soundtrack for this thing is a banger. The gameplay, some people be really into it. I was just kind of okay. And speaking of just kind of okay, excuse me, Nighthawks. This, yeah, this was another one of our festival entries. The art style real pretty. All the boys real pretty. I don't know that we saw a single female character in our whole time there, but man, the game was just so slow. I just I could not get into it. Okay, Legend of Khiimori. Yeah, this is the you're a horse messenger in like 13th century Mongolia, and you're running around doing you're doing fetch quests. You're taking this to that place and so on, and all the while you got to look after your horse. Make sure it's fed, it's watered, it's rested, and it trusts you. I liked it. I did have some trouble, but I think it was Pickle Lil who said it might be. I was trying to do it keyboard and mouse, and it might be more suited for controller. But yeah, we'll definitely be watching for that one. The full release got delayed, I believe, to 2026, so there is still time to check it out if folks are interested. See, Lunar Eclipse, yeah, yeah, that was the one. It was kind of like it tried to start like a Resident Evil kind of thing, but it just never got off the ground, and I just got so frustrated with it. I just said to hell with it. Yeah, it was memorable only for nothing happening. So meh. Okay, Mars Horizon 2. I'm very excited about this one. So the first Mars Horizon had starting the start of the space race in the 50s, and then you were racing other countries and to start a colony on Mars first. Now apparently Mars Horizon 2, there's still the space race element, but now I guess we're racing to find extra extraterrestrial life. And we got what was it? We got about 3 hours worth in there. It was kind of Stellaris-y in that you were like exploring. Excuse me, or is Stellaris? I don't know. But yeah, it's just you were exploring the surface of Mars, looking at like uh, collecting resources, putting down buildings, and yeah, it didn't. It was more planetary based than the original, but I really want to see how what they do with it. And again, this is a game that is done with the cooperation of the European Space Agency, so they're gonna be scientifically sound at least. Mirage Noir, that was the visual novel about the budding detective who lands with a bunch of pretty boys who are just in their words dicking around. Um, yeah, kind of interesting, but again, not really to my speed. Nighthawks. Not yeah, I am thirsting for a good vampire RPG, if you will. Um, and I really liked what I saw. It's more visual novel, but there are definitely some RPG elements in there, and I like what they're doing. And yeah, the like that guy who's front and center looks so much like Tim Curry as a vampire. Lurk and Beth, no worries, ready to be. Appreciate the lurk. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that. Nightscape. Okay, this was the one. It was I believe it was from a studio in Doha, and it was it was set around like the ancient Arabic astronomy and folklore. I like that one. It was there were some puzzle elements in that one, maybe some light combat. I have not heard hide nor hair of that since, but I want to see what they do with it. Northern Path. Okay. I know, I know. It looks so much like a Dredge knockoff, and you know what? Maybe this not it's not necessarily incorrect. Yeah, a lot of the mechanics are similar, but it's a different setting. You know how much I love an Arctic biome, and again, the doggos, just so many doggos. I want to. I'm really looking forward to it. I do hope they expand on those mechanics and kind of make the game their own, rather than just fully being dredge, but in Siberia. Again, I can hope. I can hope. Let's see, Paper Sky. Yeah, I don't remember too much about this one yet. Is you fly your paper airplane across the this multiple locations trying to keep it airborne. I just mostly remember it being frustrated and somehow a racial slur being slipped in like in the first like 10 minutes. So yeah, no, boo hiss. See, Princess of World's End. Yes, another festival one. I will say like the setting and uh like the main character kind of being pulled between two worlds. I thought that was kind of interesting. Um, the story ostensibly being set in Virginia, but the art and the location is looking 100% Japan, kind of took me out. One of the mini games basically requiring outside coffee knowledge kind of took me out, and like the deep pressing need for a copy editor to look at like they whiffed on almost every ITS versus IT apostrophe s. That again, because I'm me, that really took me out as well. It's not a bad game. It's just I couldn't get into it. Quality Dreams Reasonable Weapon. This was our other Zorky entry. This one I was more interested in this world. It managed to be cyberpunk, but without being like full on grimdark. You know, I mean it's still some dire circumstances, and that not even including our sick pet rabbit. But it's a very interesting setting, real inclusive. You can it looks like there's a good amount of replay value with all the different dialogue options there are. So yeah, that one that one's stood out above a lot of the other visual novels we've played. Okay, the real face of a VTuber is going on the naughty step. Why? Simple. Now, for the Choose Wisely Festival, the people in charge said no generative AI. Don't No games that use it. And when I looked at the demo page for Real Face of a VTuber, there was no AI disclosure on Steam. However, if you went to the the full games store page, there is one. In like direct contravention of the rules of the festival and what the organizers' wishes. So yeah, uh, maybe it was an oversight, maybe it was malicious. I don't know. I don't care. That's just it's scummy. Yeah, exactly, Goofy. I just it's bad form, and I did which stinks because it's not a bad game. It's kind of a goofy kind of Phoenix Wrighty thing, blended with the world of VTubing, which is completely unknown to me. But no, no, bad, bad, bad. Now on the flip side, Relooted. I am absolutely hyped for this one. This is a rare example of me being. I was sold the minute I watched the trailer. I love a good heist, and it's about cultures and settings I'm not familiar with, but I definitely want to learn more. And it's from a South African studio. I think like that Yama Corp, I think is the name. But yeah, I think it looks cool. Like a neat near future setting. Like the whole conceit is in like the 2040s or whatever. There's an agreement that all artifacts claimed by looting and pillaging and like will be are in the all of those artifacts that are on public display will be returned to their countries of origin. So of course the rules lawyers jump in and say, "Oh, actually, these all need to go into taken out of public display for quote unquote maintenance." And it so happens they end up in private displays where the rich and powerful can view them. So your job is to take them back. I think it looks really cool. I can't wait for that one. You think you want to make your house black? Your president did say you can make it black if you want. Well, then make it black. I mean, Professor says you can do it, and you want to do it, so go for it. I mean, if they cuss you out for making it black after telling you you could make it black, then that's the problem for them. That's not a problem for you. Okay, Sleep Awake. Yeah, this was that really psychedelic kind of horror game. Oh, from I forget the name. It was published by Blumhouse Games. Um, it has since come out in full release. I have not tried it. It looks a little on the short side, and the reviews are just kind of eh. I'm still interested though. I'll put that in the intrigued. Okay, Solarpunk. Obviously, also intrigued. Yeah, this was one of those open world survival crafting ones that lots of those kind of games recently. But Solarpunk obviously is its own kind of setting, and it a little bit more hopeful than a lot of a lot of the other ones. In fact, and I see. I like the look of it. It has a lot of as you can tell by the cover art there, focus on like sustainability and solar power, wind power, etc. I like the look of it. We'll keep an eye on it. Uh, okay, so we have the Star Trek Voyager Across the Unknown. Now, I'm a reformed Trekkie or Trekker, if you prefer. I'm not as into Trek as I once was, but damn if I'm not interested in like what they're gonna do with this, because it was clearly made by people who have a love of Trek and of Voyager in particular, and I like so like the demo for that one basically it gives you a chance to go over the pilot episode of the whole series, and like you can make different choices here or there, and then see see where that leads you. So I want to know, are they just going to do that with every episode, or are they going to start doing their own kind of stories? Let's see, Suffocate. Oh yeah, this was the Taiwanese family destruction simulator. That it just didn't quite take me. Wasn't bad, wasn't that great. Taste of the Wind. Okay, yeah, this one surprised me. I thought, oh, and a cute little Chinese restaurant simulator. It'll be a little a fun little experience. I was surprised at how much depth there was. Like, you got to remember your recipes because you will be quizzed on them, and you like they're actually like real advice like how to run a restaurant. I was really surprised, and I'm definitely I want to see where this goes. Um, It's like you basically you take over your family's restaurant after they've been like slandered or somehow. The story isn't all that clear, but I would say the mechanics and the complexity definitely have my attention. Don't know where your file went. You have an older save, but you don't know where the most recent one is. Always back up. Back. Save early, save often. Let's see. There are no ghosts at the Grand. This one is like part mystery in the quaint English countryside, and part hotel renovator. And but with a soundtrack laden with ska and reggae, which I don't associate with the English countryside, but I'm not against it. See, am I actually? Yeah, I really like the look of that one. We'll see how that goes. Tom the Postgirl. Okay, yeah, this was the one. Uh, where the young girl going around just getting up to mischief. You're kind of you're supposed to deliver packages, but you take your own spin on that. There were a couple. It leans darker in a few spots. It, I kind of want to see where they go with it, but I don't know about. I don't know. Let's see, Truckful. Oh yes, this was the one where driving through the countryside. Um, yeah, it was a really short demo. Basically, yeah, you have a pickup, and then which you apparently cannot leave, and then you cut through one side, take some person to a garage, and then so you're basically doing deliveries, and but then it says, oh, don't be in the forest after dark. You know what happens there. You don't actually know what happens there until the end of the demo, and you find out very much what happens there. It's not friendly. Um, yeah, with the demo being as short as it is, you couldn't get a great feel, but yeah, I'll keep an eye on that one. Unbeatable. Okay, yeah. Again, rhythm games not really my thing, but I like the world of Unbeatable, and like obviously the people who are in charge of the social media are doing banger work there. Um, I was a little confused by the demo, but all told, it's not bad. Um, it is out in full release now. It does appear to be getting good reviews. So it might be it might have come out too soon for it to be on sale uh, in the winter sale, but when it come the spring sale, it'll probably be on sale. Then I might pick it up then. Under Canopies. Okay, this was going to be our Among Trees replacement. Basically, you're going to pick up where Among Trees so suddenly left off. But I think I picked it up. Yeah, I think we played the demo last year. Excuse me, last year too. And it doesn't look like a lot has happened. I don't want to like give up hope, but I don't know. It might just be one where we might just have to just shrug our shoulders and we focus on what we missed out on when it comes to Among Trees. Anyway, Unfriendly Friend. That was the kind of the group. Uh, group of school friends going to a abandoned hospital. Uh, Darker dealings suggested, but it just nothing really happened in the demo. I can't say yay or nay one way or the other. Okay, Vultures. Was it Vultures? Scavengers of Death? Yes. So it's kind of like the think early PS1 graphics with a kind of like a Resident Evil kind of story, but with like turn-based tactical combat. Again, Survival horror, not my favorite thing. I didn't dislike it, but I wasn't all that hyped on it either. Oh, you've had oh good goofy. It is one where it was supposed to be. Ah, Trixie. See, Wander Star. Okay, yeah, this was the very '90s Toriyama-esque anime uh, where you used basically words as combat. Yeah, I'm trying to remember. It was a couple Next Fests ago. The art and the love of anime is clearly there. Um, the story was just kind of, eh, I don't know. Again, don't dislike it. I don't know if it's gonna if I'm all that hot for it either. Okay, Winter Heat. Yes. So this was the from our friends at Yuri Kiseten. Uh, yeah. So there's a story between like Javi in Santiago, Chile, and then Shio in outside Kyoto, and their long distance romance. I like that one. It's like a very sweet story. That is also is that out in full? Not. I think so. Let's see. Wordatro. Okay, yeah. So this is like Balatro plus Scrabble. We played this one a while ago. I liked it. I think that is out in full release as well. I have not seen it since it went out in 1.0. But I had a good time with it. And, I'm a wordy kind of person, so if you have like that the looking for plus mults, X mults, and strategizing with that as well as trying to flex your vocabulary. I'm a fan. All right, Crescent. Okay, so this was a kind of the almost like a witch-based society where you're the new girl in town delivering delivery job on your motor broom. I will say I really like the look of this one. I like the look. I like the feel. The the world looks nice, and then and this is one of the ones I backed on Kickstarter, so I'm not unbiased, but just being able to like zip around the world on your motor broom, racing your friends, doing deliveries, and maybe some smooching here and there. Okay, Hell Maiden, another surprise from the recent Next Fest. It's a how did I describe it? A Dante inspired vampire survivors like where all the characters like Dante, Homer, Virgil, etc. They're all sapphic anime girls. Unsurprisingly, it's by the same people who did Little Goody Two Shoes, although this one is not published by Square Enix. But again, Survivor like, kind of but I had a lot of fun with this one. I'm really excited to see where that goes. Let's see, Nova Antarctica. Yeah, that was one where you're like the last child on Earth, whatever, and you're sent to Antarctica to do something. Don't know exactly what. Yeah, that one just bounced right off me. I did not have a good time with it. Winter Burrow, super cute. Is where you're a mouse and you basically inherit like your auntie's burrow. You got to bring it up, and it's like cozy winter survival with not quite anthropomorphic beasts, but like woodland creatures. Again, like it's as cute as all heck. Yeah, believe that is out in 1.0. I have not, I don't have it, and I haven't tried it, but I remember liking the demo. And oh, and then so the last one I kind of forgot about the yeah, that's all the title right there. Basically, the short if letters had pants. It was another kind of a like a word search, but with almost kind of more of a it's kind of akin to Wordatro, but kind of the nuttier, more crunchy kind of aesthetic. Is that hey TX? Thank you so much for the resub. 35 months. Wow. Yeah, we really have been doing this for 3 years. Good grief. Hope you have a good holiday. Yeah, I hope you do too, TX. Appreciate you dropping by. Hope your holiday is going well. You and the kitties. Okay, but yeah, there we are. That's our again. That was just our demo tier list. But yeah, top tier: Altered Alma, Mi Nima, Constance, Downhill, Mars Horizon 2, Nighthawks, Northern Path, Relooted, Taste of the Wind, There Are No Ghosts of the Grand, Crescent County, and Hell Maiden. Okay, we'll just leave that for later.